afternoon, Americans. What the hell is in my pocket? What? I just reached down in my pocket. Kind of wrapper or some shit. Yeah. You ever leave paper in your pocket and then it gets washed and turns into a handful of these little fucking paper balls? What just happened to me, people? This is real life. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. I'm here with you once again, guys. Appreciate you being here. You know what I'm happy about? I'm happy that I got my glasses clean. Because I got the little stupid rag that it comes with, this thing right here. So I'm trying to clean it, but it never gets it clean. You got to keep rubbing it. I got them clear and clean. So I'm happy about that. The older you get, the simpler your needs get, the easier it is to make you happy. Something that none of us are happy about, at least all of us who have we have a brain that can at least power an easy bake oven. The State of the Union address last night, and it was terrible. Now, it was better than normal. Normally, he's trailing off words and he's making up words and throwing a bunch of letters together and shit and stuff like that. And there was some of that last night. But the people are like, oh man, some of these the posts that you go to, oh, nailed it. He killed it tonight. Oh, Biden 2024 vote blue, man. He did a great job. And he didn't do a great job. He just did better than he normally does. I'm sure there was some kind of what's that? Adderall. He probably had some kind of Adderall IV, going down his sleeve jacket into his veins. The old West card players, they have that little derringer that pops out of their sleeve with the little rigging on their arm. He probably had something like that. He probably had some kind of Adderall, adrenochrome IV coursing through him because they injected him with something. Biden is never that energetic. He's never that awake unless you're dangling, the clippings of an 8-year-old's hair in front of him. That gets him pretty excited. That'll make his pink lipstick come out. Dogs, you rub him a male dog, you rub him in the right spot, and that little pink lipstick, that little weird looking dick comes out. That'll get him. You get a bowl of chocolate chip ice cream and a fresh bundle of 8-year-old hair. That'll get him excited. But other than that, he's usually and after this, I'm going to do a video about a response, or a reporter asked him a question about something that he said at the State of the Union, and it is fucking gibberish. But I wouldn't say he talked. Of course, I wouldn't say he did a good job, but it was a better job than normal. But when you set the bar like down here around your ankles, if he performs up here, then it's like, oh man, he did great. But that's not really good for a normal human being. That wouldn't be good. It's like when you see a female basketball player dunk. Remember that video? It was a couple years ago. There was some college or something, and this girl, she dunked, but like barely. She got up there and she did put the ball in the hoop. People literally rushed the court. Oh my God, it's fucking great. If a man did that dunk, the crowd would boo. Like, that's weak. You barely made it. You suck. But because it's a lady, it's okay. It's great. So it was that kind of thing. The bar was so low that seeing him perform at that level, that's an improvement. But people were saying, oh, he killed it. It was really sad. So it started off late. I think it was almost 30 minutes late. And when he's walking in, Marjorie Taylor Greene handed him a pin, and it had Laken Riley's name on it. The girl, the 22-year-old nursing student who was murdered, savagely murdered and sexually assaulted by an evil piece of garbage that came into our country uninvited. Had a criminal record. He had been busted in New York and somewhere else. Release him. It's fine. You come here illegally, commit crimes, it's cool. So they let him go twice. And then he ends up killing Laken Riley. You hear how I said that? Laken. Because that's her name, Laken, Laken Riley. Well, as he's coming in on the way to the podium, Marjorie Taylor Greene hands him a pin that has her name on it. And she says, say her name. made famous back in 2020 or so, where all these unarmed black folks would get killed by the police. Say her name, say her name. So she said, say her name. And he said, I know the name, but he didn't say it. He just did this weird, awkward smile thing. And the way he reached for it, you got to see the clip of him reaching for the pen that she handed him. It was really slow and shaky. Really, it's very telling. So she hands him the pen, and he takes it. I was surprised by that. I figured he wouldn't have taken it, but he did. And he goes up on the stage, and Marjorie Taylor Greene yells, say her name. And he grabs the pen and he goes, Lincoln Riley, a girl who was murdered by an illegal. I was like, Sloppy Joe, you said illegal? You can't call them that. You can't call them illegals. You're supposed to say undocumented. You're supposed to call them a migrant, a dreamer, but you can't call them what they are. You can't call somebody who's in the country illegally an illegal. That goes against everything. But he did right there into a hot mic. That fool said she was murdered by an illegal. So I'm proud of you for that, Sloppy Joe. Even though it was a Freudian slip and you didn't mean to say it, you said it. He called him an illegal. So the video I'm going to do after this is of a reporter asking him, do you regret saying that he was an illegal? And it's oh man, he might have said 3 English words and the rest was just I mean, he stepped in it. He really stepped in it, because you cannot and will not call an illegal an illegal. But he sure did. That shit was so funny. Matter of fact, here we go right here. I'll pull it up for you. And then he says thousands of Americans are being killed by illegals. Joe, what the fuck? What happened? Did they give you too much Adderall? Too much adrenochrome? Did they give you too big of a scoop of dead Chinese prisoner blood? What happened? This fool's telling the truth. You can't have him running around here telling the truth, right? So let's hear it from the shaky old horse's mouth. 1 foot in the glue factory. Here we go. Your sloppiness.
Predecessor called members of Congress and the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me and a political loser for him.
You see that? You still had that. You still had regular old Sloppy Joe coming through, slurring his words. His mouth wasn't working. You still had that, but he was. It's hard to explain. He was still stumbling over his words. He was just stumbling over his words louder and faster, if that makes sense. He was like one of those kids in class who doesn't like to speak in front of groups. So they get up there and they keep their head down and they just read their report. No punctuation. They don't stop, don't pause. They just blow through it so they can sit their ass down and not be in front of the class. That's what this was.
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
So that was Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, say her name, say Laken Riley. Laken, remember that. So he's grabbing the pen.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal.
Sloppy Joe, you can't say that, dog. You can't call them illegals. You're not supposed to, man. You sure the fuck did. Sloppy Joe said a young woman who was killed by an illegal. Go on, Mushmouth.
That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals?
That's a great question. That's a great question. How many thousands of Americans are being killed by illegals? Why have you not asked yourself that question before, your sloppiness? To me, that was the thing that stuck out the most from this stupid State of the Union address, was him saying that. him saying the truth out loud, which is not like him. I was like, oh shit. Sloppy Joe said she was killed by an illegal. One more time, sir.
Demand they block the bill. He feels political win. He viewed it as a political win for me. And a political loser.
The dentures almost came out. Oh shit. You need more Fixodent on that. Ask Kamala Harris. She loves the old dick. So I'm sure she's picked up some tricks of the trade from some of her partners. Willie Brown's like, I can tell you.
For him. It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Laken Riley. Listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley. Not Laken. I'll even give you, you say it wrong one time, correct yourself. He never did. He said it twice. Lincoln Riley. Does he even know about this story? Did they just tell him this like right before he went out there? Why do you not know her name is Laken Riley? Lincoln, fuck it, who cares? But he said it. She was killed by a who?
An innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals?
You guys know this this rabbit hole that we've fallen down in the last 10 years or so. Like we're inside of a clown's asshole right now. And you know that the left does not want you to call them illegals. They're undocumented, they're migrants, but you can't say what they are. The truth is their kryptonite. Truth is holy water to these blood suckers. Sure the fuck did. What a dumbass. What a fucking idiot you are. And then something else that he said. Not so much what he said, but what she did. Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare. Something that she said. Hold on, let me find this real quick. Okay. So check this shit out. Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, put her foot in her mouth. She put her foot in her mouth right here. She didn't say anything, but just watch what she does. Listen to what he says and then watch what she does. And that is, you talk about hypocrisy. If you're allergic to hypocrisy, turn this shit off right now.
Marijuana expunging thousands of convictions for the mere possession, because no one should be jailed for simply using or have it on their record.
No one should be jailed for using it or possessing it. Why? And it says right here, while a prosecutor, Harris locked up over 1,500 people for marijuana possession, and this out-of-touch demon is standing up and clapping for it. Yes, Sloppy Joe. They shouldn't be jailed for possession. Uh-oh. I jailed a bunch of people for that. That's how much these people don't give a fuck. She jailed many a person of color and some white people too for marijuana possession. And then he says, they shouldn't be locked up for having the devil's lettuce. And she's standing up clapping people.
Marijuana expunging thousands of convictions for the mere possession, because no one should be jailed for simply using or have it on their record.
Like a fucking seal. Somebody give her a handful of old pubes so she can chill out. Can you believe that shit? Ooh, these people. So it started late. You saw the Lincoln Riley. Her name's Laken, sir. And of course, they talked about January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. And he repeated the same bullshit line that January 6th is the worst thing that happened to our democracy since the Civil War. The Civil War, bruh. Democracy, when you hear them talking about democracy, you know some bullshit is on the way, because we're not a democracy. We are a republic, right? And he also talked about Roe v. Wade. Oh, no offense, Supreme Court. Some of the Supreme Court justices were there. No offense, Supreme Court. But Roe v. Wade needs to be codified and all this shit. What have you guys been waiting for? This is the carrot they keep dangling in front of their voters and keep moving it down the road. They never do it. If Congress would just do this and that, you and Barack had Congress firmly up your ass for a few years, and you never did it because it wasn't a hot button issue. It wasn't a hit thing to talk about. What are you guys waiting for? How many times since 1973, when Roe v. Wade was enacted, how many times have you guys had the Congress? Have Democrats had Congress? You had the majority. Why didn't you do anything then? Why now? How long has this old bastard been talking about codifying, however you say that stupid word, Roe v. Wade? He said there are some Republicans who want a nationwide ban on abortion. Well, people in hell want ice water. They can want it all they want, but it's up to the state. That was the genius of repealing Roe v. Wade, is you're taking it out of the hands of the federal government and you're giving it to the people. And if your state wants to ban it altogether, hey, that's your state. The majority wins. If your state wants to be strict, have strict regulations on it and set the abortion at a certain time, or a certain point in the pregnancy, or ban it altogether, that's your state. If your state wants to be like California, where we're a theme park, a wonderland for abortion, I call it abortica. California's abortica. Come on here. Come to California. We will help you. We will kill your kids for you. I wonder if it's like a pizza place where you get 5 abortions and the 6th one's free. Come to abortica. If you live in a state like that where they say, fuck it, you kill your kid, you can kill that baby after it comes out if you want to. If you live in a place like that, majority wins. That's how it is. It cuts both ways. If you don't like it, either way, move. If not, hey, that's what you got. It's up to the people. That's how it's supposed to be. So, their old crutches, January 6th, abortion, and he kept mentioning junk fees. What the fuck? Why are you, that's not important. That's not a feather you can put in your cap that you stopped or lowered junk fees. Plane tickets, concert tickets. Why do you give a fuck? I don't care about no junk fees. Of course, I don't like them, and I wish they would do away with them. But should that be on the president's desk? I don't think so. Junk fees. That shit was terrible. Again, I don't know what they injected him with, but he was more spry than normal. But he was still doing the slur words, saying stupid shit nonsense. I think they gave him too much. They need to adjust the dosage because he started telling the truth. Laken Riley was killed by an illegal. How many thousands of Americans would be killed by illegals? Yes, I want more of this sloppy Joe. Well, I guarantee you next time they're going to tone that dosage down a little bit. He won't be saying the truth next time, if he does another one. I hope this was the last one. I do not want to see this shaky old liver-spotted fool in front of that podium again. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I'm about to do a video on a reporter asking him about it. And obviously he wasn't on adrenochrome or Adderall today. He was back to his same old stumbling, mumbling, bumbling self. The same sloppy Joe that says things that make you, huh? Or things so racist that David Duke was like, damn, David Duke's watching it like, oh shit, dog, you said that? Same old Joe. He's back, guys. He's back. The Adderall has worn off. But what'd you think of it? I thought it was a running shit sandwich like it usually is. I thought it was more lies. He's talking about how our economy is the envy of the world. I don't give a shit if what is the envy of the world. It was at 9%. Now it's at 3%. Well, who the fuck jacked it up to 9%? Who jacked it up to 9%? You did. So we're supposed to give you kudos for lowering it back down to 3%? That's like if I slap you in your face and bust your lip, but I run and get you a frozen bag of peas Hey, I'm the hero. I helped you. No, I'm the one who split your lip in the first place. You should bring the inflation down, you jackass. And before I go, I don't know what you guys are paying for gas, but I just put gas in my truck, and we're about $4.65, $4.75 here in California. That's not low enough. You jack the gas prices up to $7 and you bring it down to $5, and we're supposed to throw you a parade. What did you think of that nonsense? You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass in the description section. Hit the link to my new channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.